From Upper Michigan Source, this is your Sports on Demand for Tuesday, November 13th. I'm Mike Ludlum. The Kearney NATO Wolves keep dancing in the State Division IV volleyball tournament. Wolves and head coach Steve Kesch defeated Rudyard during the regular season 2-0 during a weekend tournament. Rudyard lost to Onaway in a regional final last Thursday in 5 sets. So you're telling me there's a chance? Well, let's go to Manistee, where Kearney NATO faced Onaway in a quarterfinal last night. And a pretty full house at the Emeralds Gym for this one. The first 4 sets were split, so let's go right to set number 5. Maddie Horner to Callie Selke, but Liana Blahnik with the successful roof, and the Wolves lead 7-2. Next, Kennedy Crawford will softly touch that one over. Onaway gets the point, but they're down 11-4. On the next possession, Liana Blahnik, but Mallory McLean is there for the block to make it 11-5. Then Kearney NATO gets going again. Layla Blahnik-Toon with the tip. Kearney is within 1 point, and then Blahnik-Toon sets Taylor Kesch, and the coach's daughter gets enough to put it away. Kearney NATO wins the set 15-5 and the match 3-2. They move on to the semifinals to face the Leland Comets Friday in Battle Creek. That match will start at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central Time, give or take a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, in college basketball, Minnesota Duluth visiting NMU will start the women's contest. And for the Wildcats, a quick start, Darby Youngstrom, Jessica Schultz. Padding her offensive rebounding statistics, it's a 2-0 lead and 3-0 after the free throw. Wildcats at it again, Sydney Dillinger, Lexi Smith, 5-0 Cats. But the Bulldogs would find a different gear. Samantha Kozlowski to Katie Stark. She bags that triple and ties the score at 5. That set off a number of 3-pointers for the Bulldogs. Stark again right in front of us, putting that one in. Move to the second quarter. Youngstrom will find Erin Honkala. She had a couple of triples. The Bulldogs, though, had the lead at that time. In fact, UMD had 10 3-pointers, NMU just 3. And UMD, despite a lousy third quarter, went on to win this one 51-45. Taylor Hodel had 14 points to lead the Wildcats. To the men's contest, and new Duluth coach Justin Wyack and referee Kev Patana, they have something to discuss. Brandon Meyer, show and go on the little flip in the lane. He had 18 points to lead the Bulldogs. For NMU, a hustle play. Naba Eccles, Sam Taylor, no. Delapo Oleinka with the rebound. Takes the ball back to the 3-point line. Hey! Nobody's covering him. Doggone it, just slam it on down. A very good idea. Now, Northern would get a little more action going after that dunk. Isaiah Johnson, the current North Division Player of the Week in the GLIAC, he had 18 points, so did Naba Eccles. Marcus Metelski will bag a triple from the corner. NMU trailed by 10 at the half, 35-25, but Duluth only scored 17 points in the second half, gave it to the Wildcats by the count of 64-52. NMU senior running back Jake Mayon has been named the GLIAC Offensive Player of the Year for the 2nd straight season. He became the first player in school history to achieve 1,500 yards rushing, finishing the year with 1,505 and scoring 14 touchdowns. That total also placed him 6th nationally in Division II. Mayon became the school's career rushing leader with 4,220 yards. Elsewhere on the teams, Michigan Tech had 2 first-teamers, Jacob Wenslick at wide receiver, and Michael James, the punter from Sault Ste. Marie. On the second team, Wildcat offensive lineman Vince Propson and Ziggy Arledge, along with defensive lineman Abram Cook. Huskies had defensive lineman Garrett Ross and linebacker Marvin Wright, and NMU punter John Kwasinski also making the second team. The Michigan Tech hockey team travels to New York State to visit the Clarkston Golden Knights this weekend. The last time these two teams met, back in the 1970 national semifinals. Clarkston won that game by the score of 4-3. But before that, the Huskies blew out the Golden Knights in the 1962 national championship game 7-1. Tech is 4-0 in the WCHA after 2 weeks, and life is looking pretty good at the moment.
Rutkowski turns it over, and the Huskies starting back. Breakaway coming down 2-0. Bliss with a shot, and he scores!
Michigan Tech has swept Alabama, Huntsville, and Ferris State the past 2 weekends, allowing the Huskies to start 4-0 in WCHA play. Head coach Joe Shawn says the big reason comes from balance.
We're getting scoring from every line. We're getting quality scoring chances from every line. Corsi's good on every line, so our D are transitioning the puck much quicker.
The Huskies and Bulldogs had an unusual contest Friday. Tech led 2-0, Ferris tied it. Huskies led 4-2, Bulldogs tied it again. Then Justin Miziak scored the game winner, but credit goes to a couple other players as well.
Zach Noble made the play that sprung us on that. He drew some coverage at the blue line and fed an open pass through some traffic, and I believe it was Lucchini that was up on that rush as well. It created 2-on-1, kept the goalie back in the net, and gave some room for Justin to make a move at the goal line. So they had to respect it.
Michigan Tech finally completes the 8-game road trip this weekend at Clarkston.
Won the ECAC last year. I have played a tough schedule so far this year. Beat Wisconsin, so we have a little head-to-head comparison there. We split with Wisconsin, so always good in the rank. Hockey community, small community, much like us.
Face-off from Potsdam, New York, both nights is set for just after 7 o'clock.